Begin in a comfortable position, lying on your back on the ground. Knees bent, bottoms of your feet on the ground. Turn your palms to face up and snuggle your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Feel the back of your head pressing into the ground. And relax your jaw and your low belly as you start to breathe in deeply through both of your nostrils. Let your belly rise as you breathe in. And exhale. Let your belly come back down towards your spine as you breathe out. With your next breath in, reach your arms up and overhead. Give a nice stretch. Exhale, draw your right thigh in towards your belly and wrap both hands around your right shin. Inhale, release your right leg, bring your foot back to the ground, knee bent. Exhale, left side. And when you inhale, release your left leg, bring your foot to the ground, knee bent, arms overhead. Exhale, draw low belly in as you draw your right thigh in again. Squeeze your thigh in. This time when you inhale, extend your right leg all the way out. So knee is no longer bent, foot's on the ground. And exhale, left side the same. Hug your leg in. When you breathe in, extend both arms overhead and your leg long on the ground. Exhale, draw your right knee in, hug your shin. Pause here. Inhale, extend arms overhead, release your right leg. Exhale, left side. Inhale, release, extend your left leg, bring the bottom of your heel to the ground. Exhale, draw your right thigh in, and this time pause. Draw low belly in firmly so you feel your low back connect with the ground, and also press the back of your head into the ground beneath you. Draw your chin in toward the front of your throat like you're making a double chin. Next breath in, release, and extend your leg. Left side on the exhale, same thing, we'll hold for a few breaths. Draw your thigh in, tuck your chin towards your throat, and press the back of your head into the ground. Next, inhale, release your leg, extend your arms up and overhead. And exhale, bring your arms along your sides. Now bend your knees again to bring the bottoms of your feet to the ground. Take a breath in through your nose and exhale through your nose. As you do, draw your belly button in towards your spine, engage your lower abdominals, and draw your low spine into the ground beneath you. See if you can flatten your low back into the ground and keep that engagement as you slowly start to step your feet farther away from your hips towards the bottom edge of your mat. And stop when you feel a good challenge where you can still keep your low back moving close to the ground, your lower abs engaged, and breathe. When you're ready, slowly start to walk your feet back towards your hips. Spread your toes and the bottoms of your feet on the ground. Inhale now to extend your right leg up perpendicular to the ground. Next inhalation, start to lower your leg down towards the ground. And as you exhale, draw your low belly in that same way as you bring your leg back up, foot over your hip. Let's do a few more rounds. You can extend your left leg if you want, or keep it bent. Every inhale, you lower your heel down as close to the ground as comfortable, and exhale to draw low belly in and extend your leg. Inhale, leg feels long, torso feels long. Exhale, draw low belly in. Next time you lift your leg up, lift your shoulders and head off the ground and reach up so your hands wrap around your thigh, your shin. Left leg, extend your leg, press the bottom of your foot towards the ceiling. Inhale, extend your leg, lower it towards the ground, and exhale, draw back up. With your breath, remember long leg, long torso on the inhale, and exhale, low belly draws in strong to bring the foot back up. Next time you draw your leg up, reach with your hands, hold the back of your thigh or the back of your lower leg, lift your shoulders and head, draw your chin in towards your chest. Take another breath here. Release your leg, take your arms overhead. Exhale, arms long sides. Walk your feet in a little bit closer now, closer to your hips. Press your feet into the ground and lift your hips, lift your pelvis away from the ground for bridge pose. Try and draw your shoulder blades closer together on your back. Maybe clasp your hands underneath your back and press down through the tripod of your upper arms and your fist. Press the back of your head down into the ground. And the next exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time, spine back to the ground. Now draw your legs up towards your chest, knees bent, and take each hand to both of your shins. Rock side to side a couple of times, and then begin to rock up and down your spine, shoulder blades to tailbone. Gather some momentum, then cross your ankles and come onto hands and knees in table pose. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Turn your elbow creases so they're in line with the top edge of your mat. And begin cat and cow. Inhale, lift your chest and your sitting bones. Exhale, curl your spine. Draw your low belly in. Tuck tailbone under. With your breath, a few more rounds. Think about moving your whole spine from the tip of your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Palms spread nice and wide into the ground. After your next cow pose, exhale and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Keep your palms spread nice and wide and your low belly engaged by lifting your belly button in and up towards your spine. Take a few breaths here. Sink your chest towards your big toes. And step your right foot forward now between your hands. Lower your left knee to the ground. Firm your feet into the ground and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. With your next breath in, lift your chest, keep your arms low and at your sides, palms facing forward, fingertips facing the ground. Take your hands to your hips now, let your pelvis sink forward and down. Feel a stretch in the front of your left thigh here, the front of your left hip. Next, inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, wrap your hands behind your back. You can hold on to opposite fists, wrists, forearms, or elbows. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Broaden your collarbones. Keep your feet firmly anchored into the ground, your legs strong. Next, exhale, release your fingertips to the ground on both sides of your front foot. Send your hips back, point your right toes towards the ceiling, straighten your right leg. Come back to the lunge, lift your left knee, step to downward facing dog. Same thing on the left. Step your left foot forward. Both hands and the foot in one line. Strong legs. Then inhale to lift your chest. Keep your arms low, palms facing forward. Roll your shoulders, let your pelvis sink forward and down, but keep your legs strong. Inhale, reach arms up and overhead, and an exhale to wrap the hands around. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other on your spine. And take another breath here. Begin to release your hands. Bring them up and overhead, a nice stretch. Exhale, fingertips on both sides of the front foot. Lift your knee. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Next breath in, we'll slide forward to plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, and you can lower down onto your knees or stay up high on your toes. Either way, draw your belly in towards your spine. Spread your palms and imagine you're tearing the ground away from each hand, trying to rip your mat in half long ways. Another breath here in plank. You can lower your knees or keep them lifted if they are. As you exhale, chaturanga, elbows point straight back, heart and hips lower at the same time. So you're on the ground on your belly. Inhale, lift your chest and shoulders and head away from the ground, and exhale, come back down. Let's do that again with an inhale. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back, lift your chest, and exhale back down towards the ground. Do it one more time, and this time lift your palms up off the ground too, so you're using the strength of your back to lift up. And exhale, hands and forehead back down. Extend your arms behind you. Last repetition here. Lift your chest and your head. Keep your palms on the ground, and then option to lift your palms away from the ground. Stretch your fingers back towards your heels. You can also lift your legs here and point your toes back too. Fingers and toes stretch back. Spine and crown of head reach forward. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Extend your arms in a T with palms facing down. Now bring your left fingertips to the ground and bend your arm to a 90-degree angle like half a goalpost, and roll onto your right side. Step your left foot behind your right leg. So we're stretching into the right shoulder here. After another breath, roll onto your belly. We'll do the same on the other side. Left arm extended, right fingertips tented, elbow bent, and left foot behind the right leg. You can also stack your legs for this if it's not comfortable to have your top leg bent. Come back onto your belly. And wrap your hands around to clasp behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades together, lift your chest and head, draw your chin in towards your throat. Exhale, release, bring your hands to the ground beneath your shoulders. We'll press up, either into plank or table. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take another breath here, and then slowly start to walk your feet forward towards the top of your mat for forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend your knees a little bit here. Spread your toes, anchor into your feet. The next inhale, bend your knees, lower your hips, and reach your arms up and overhead for chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulder blades on the back, chest lengthens away from the thighs, and exhale, fold again. Inhale, reach all the way up to stand, bring your arms up and overhead. And exhale into chair. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, fold again. Chair pose with the next breath in. Nope, all the way up to stand, sorry. Exhale now to chair. Draw your low belly in. Sink your hips back. Exhale, fold. Relax your neck and head. Inhale, lift halfway up. Good. Exhale, fold down. And inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, chair. Breathe in here. Draw your low belly in, shoulders on the back. Next breath in, tilt forward onto the balls of your feet and your toes. Lift your heels, extend your arms behind you. Exhale, rock back onto your heels, lift your toes back to chair. Inhale onto your toes, lift your heels, send your hands back. We'll do that a few times. Rock back and forth, up onto your toes, point your fingers back. And then onto the heels. Breathe here. Inhale, sweep your arms, come back to chair pose. And exhale, release your legs, come to mountain pose with arms at your sides. Let's rock up and down on the toes a couple of times. Find your breath. Take one hand to the front of your pelvis and one hand to the back. So one hand just below your belly button, one hand on your sacrum. See how it feels to tilt your pelvis forward so your front hand comes lower, your back hand comes higher. And then take your front hand higher, your back hand lower so you can level your pelvis to the ground, engaging your abdominals as you do, and feeling your tailbone lengthen towards the ground or towards your heels. Reach your arms up with a breath in. Exhale, wrap your hands behind you. Draw shoulder blades together. Let's fold with arms like this, letting the chest stretch and open. Another breath here. And release your hands back to the ground. Half lift, breathe in. Shoulder blades towards the spine one more time. And as you exhale, bend your knees to a squat. Lower your hips down onto the ground and find a comfortable seat. You might want to take your blanket here, fold it, and place it underneath your hips, the back of your hips, so your pelvis can be level to your knees or a little higher. And roll your shoulders a few times up towards your ears, towards the back of the room, and then down your back. Inhale and reach your left arm up and overhead. Have your palm face your back. And then reach your right hand around, bend the elbow, and have your right palm face away from you. Maybe you can move your fingers towards each other so your fingers clasp. You can also keep your hands not touching, hold on to the fabric of your shirt or a strap. We want to point the left elbow up towards the ceiling and draw the right arm as close as possible to the body. After another breath, release your arms. Come to the other side. Top palm facing in towards you, bottom palm facing away. Sit tall through your spine still. And point your top elbow up towards the ceiling. Cow face arms. Release your hands. Bring them to rest on your thighs. Roll your shoulders a couple more times. Rock your right ear over towards your right shoulder and extend your left arm away from you. Fingertips reach out. You can move your hand until you find a good stretch in the side of your neck on the left and the upper back. Rock your chin towards center and lift your ear towards your left shoulder and extend your right arm. Again, move your hand until you feel a comfortable stretch on the right side. And breathe into that when you find it. Okay, now extend your arms parallel with the ground and flip your right palm up, left palm down. Rock your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then switch your palms, so left palm up, right palm down, left ear towards left shoulder. And do this a few times, flipping your palms and turning your head, tilting your head towards the upturned palm. Maybe start to rock your rib cage or your chest to that side along with your head. You can also reach the fingers of the upturned palm away from you. When you're ready, lower your fingertips back down to the ground. Sit tall through your spine. Take your blanket out from underneath your hips and roll it up in a thick roll. You can also use a towel for this, or a bolster, or a foam roller if you have one of those at home. And place the rolled blanket right up next to your body, so touching your sacrum. And then lie back onto the bolster or a rolled up towel or whatever you have, and take your arms out like a cactus. So elbows bent 90 degrees, backs of the hands on the ground, palms facing up. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Then rock to one side, take the bolster or prop out from underneath you, and come onto your back again with your knees bent and your feet on the ground. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Make like the number 4 with your legs and draw your legs up towards your chest if that's comfortable. You can also leave your left foot on the ground. You can hold onto the back of your left thigh or your shin. Release your foot back down to the ground. Cross on the other side. Use the strength of your lower body to lift your legs up towards your chest if you're doing that, and then clasp your hands around your thigh or your shin. Lower your legs back down to the ground, uncross. Take your arms out wide, like a T with palms facing up. Draw your thighs towards your chest and then let the legs lower towards the right for a twist. You can place your blanket or prop underneath your legs if you can't keep your both shoulder blades on the ground here. When you're ready, go to the other side. Can rock a couple times at the center first. Nice deep breaths, putting less and less effort into the breath, letting the legs feel heavier and more relaxed. Rock back to center when you're ready. And come into Shavasana. Extending both legs, heels nice and wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Palms facing up, hands equal distances from the torso, and back of head balancing on the ground. Let the whole back of your body feels like it's sinking into the ground behind you. And the whole front of your body release any tension, any strain. Relax your jaw and your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your chest, your ribs, and your belly. Stay here for as long as you want to. And then close your practice by rocking up to a seat.